All right.
Hey, Anne.
Hey, Laura, how are you?
I'm great.
Fancy
Let's
meeting
see.
you here.
I know, right? Let's see how many people are showing up for us.
Probably nobody.
Yeah.
They're not here for us. You know
No?
who they are here for?
Us. No?
No, Kat Barrell.
Oh.
Oh,
Did
I
we
mean
get her?
Kat Barrell.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's great. I think that would be great. Oh, there you are.
Hi.
Look at you.
Hi,
How's
guys.
it
We let
going?
you in
Yeah.
here.
I know. I snuck in, but I'm ready. I've got my pillows,
You're just
my
letting the riff
cozy
raff in,
sweater
man.
on. What's that?
But you don't have one of these yet, do you?
Yet, I do not. I have a few fuzzy house coats kicking around, but I'm in more of a tracksuit mood this evening.
Yeah, that's not the same thing.
Not the
Yeah,
same.
whatever gets you
right.
there. She's cozy. Look, we have like a bedside chat happening right now.
Yeah.
Right? You're in my bed with me.
What
Ooh.
more could we ask for?
What more could you ask for?
Jealousy from probably everybody watching. So for anybody who's tuning into this, they probably just watched you play Hannah on Cabin Connection.
Yay.
And I think I speak for all of them when I ask, how did Hannah afford that apartment in New York City on a writer's salary?
It's like the Carrie Underwood question du jour.
Carrie
Remember
Bradshaw,
that was like
I
always
think.
the question. I was like, how did Carrie afford that apartment in New
Or
York?
even the Friends girls, like, how did they afford that apartment? On like a waitress and a chef salary.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. Maybe she has like 3 roommates that we never see.
But Carmen is not one of her roommates. Carmen should totally be her roommate.
Carmen should be her roommate, actually. Yeah. Carmen's great.
They were totally cool BFFs. I like that. Definitely. I like that relationship. You always need the cool BFF in these types of movies.
Yes, of course you do. You definitely do.
Now,
yeah, it was a pretty fancy apartment. 3 windows. It was a lot.
Yeah.
And I've become accustomed to watching your other movies and seeing you die a tragic death. So I'm just really happy that this one turned out well. For your sequel.
It's true. I did do a slew of those horrible tragic death movies, didn't I? And now I'm sort of in the in like Hallmark lovey-dovey romance land.
I like
so
this
gotta
one
shake
better.
it up. I'm still pulling hard for Villain 2022, but
ooh, we're gonna get that started. Everybody, hashtag Villain 2022.
Villain 2022.
Cat Villain 2022. Speaking of
send it to Marvel. No, I'm just kidding.
Speaking of this, like in this kind of rom-com / rom-dram movie of the week kind of thing, what is your favorite type of trope in these types of movies?
Oh my gosh, there's so many tropes.
Is it the, oh my god, there was a miscommunication and they're like fighting now when they just got a little bit connected,
a little bit confused? Yeah, it's like a huge well, my trope for this one was, how many times does Hannah need to be asked to go to dinner before she doesn't want to impose anymore? But it's not really a trope. But I think I don't know. It's like the convenience of it all, of like, oh, you need a handyman? Well, guess what I do on my free time? I think I don't know though. You have to sort of buy into those. Like,
I'm all for it. I'm all for them.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was the, oh hey Bernie.
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Want to say hi. What's your favorite trope? Or like I don't know, the baking. There's always like some sort of sweet treat baking montage.
Yeah. I do like a good, that's what it is for me. I do like a good like montage of something.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I like the grand gesture, like ending, like racing to the airport, which fun fact, having just that happen to me in an airport, that's not accurate, by the way.
It's not all like
that's a story for another day.
Your hair isn't like blowing in the wind, and
that's a story for another day. But yeah, I like the grand gesture or the montage of a movie.
Yes,
I like the trapped somewhere together.
Oh,
how are you going to get out?
Yes, or the like they hate each other.
Enemies to lovers.
The enemies to lovers. Yeah, also a good trope.
That is what is that? That's the basis of probably 50% of fan fiction, right?
Oh,
enemies
totally.
to lover. Yeah.
Enemies to lovers. There's
yeah, you're good now. You did cut out for and that's her time, ladies and gentlemen. Good night. No.
She'll come back. Wait, you got her going on fanfic? Come on now.
What? I just said it. That's not true. Everybody in the chat, tell me, am I lying?
They're all going to be like, yeah, Prince to lovers. There was only one bed.
Right. Okay.
There she is.
So sorry. You
That's
know
okay.
what happened? My alarm to remind me to come here just went off because I didn't turn it off. I just silenced it last time.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Enemies to Technology will get you every time.
There's like a great book. I was actually just talking about this with Scrofano yesterday because we were talking about writing, and it's called Save the Cat. It's more for script writing, but if you guys are into like fanfic writing, it might be fun for people too. It's an awesome book, and it's all about like archetypes and formula, and very good book.
Save the Cat, like CAT?
Save the Cat. Yeah, it's got like a.
Oh, I thought it was the title of your autobiography.
A skinny Calamity Jane on the front holding onto a rope.
Okay.
It's true. It's a very
good book. That could also be the title of your autobiography.
What? Save the Cat?
Yes.
Or Skinny Calamity Jane?
No, Save the Cat.
Either or.
Yeah.
Either or. They both track. So, Kat, we see Hannah inheriting a cabin. She gets a family cabin. You inherit a family cabin. What do you do with it?
Oh, I mean, I love the idea of like having something that's been in the family. I don't have a cabin or cottage or anything in my family, but we do have a very good friend who has a cottage, and so we make a point of always going like renting from him, so it sort of feels like it's the same place, and you make memories in the same place every year, which makes it sort of feel like a version of yours or special or in a certain way. So I think I would make sure to have like I would very quickly set up a schedule of annual traditions, like for one weekend when family comes up, one weekend when friends come up, and do, because I think those are the things, like we always would go up for Canada Day long weekend. And so I think those are the things that sort of make it build those memories, because you have this like yearly touchstone that you go to the same place at the same time every year with relatively the same group of people, and it's a really cool way to mark time. And I really like those traditions, so I would definitely like set up some special weekends.
Okay, so when is the weekend for the fans? I'm just gonna put
the weekend for the fans. Schedule. So that would be July the 26th, 27th, and 28th.
Perfect. That sounds great. I'll be up there.
So you would keep it. You wouldn't sell it.
If it looked like this Nana's cabin, she would reno the shit out of it.
Yeah, I would reno the shit out of it. Just, I mean, no, if it was given to me, I wouldn't sell it. But I do think there is something, like I have briefly thought about, would I ever want to buy a cottage one day? But the thing is, then you have this like guilt of like, you have to go there for all your vacations because you've spent so much time, money, and energy fixing it up and maintaining it. And then if you're like, I'd like to go somewhere different, you have this sort of like, but we should go to the cabin.
Really? You don't have guilt about that? I would have like, it's there, like, so it's someplace to go. Like, I wouldn't have guilt about that. It would be like there for me.
No, but like if you wanted to go somewhere else, would you not feel guilty that like
no, because then you could rent it out. You could rent it out to your friend, like you just said.
That's true.
You have to have it on a lake, and you have to have it somewhere where it's like you don't have to drive 5 hours to get there. You have to have it so
it has to be somewhere where like you can be there in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's too much of a chore and you don't use it.
I agree.
So speaking of, where did they actually film this movie? Because I know it wasn't New York City there.
Really? What tipped you off? It was not New York City. It was actually just outside of Toronto. two cities, one Hamilton and one Guelph, Ontario. They're like smaller towns outside of Toronto, and the locations were beautiful. Like I grew up in a town just beside Guelph, and I didn't even know half these places existed. And I actually watched the movie on Thursday night with my folks, and I was like, Mom, why didn't we go to some of these places? Because they asked the same question. They're like, where are all these locations? And there's like, we filmed on a beautiful farm. Almost everything was filmed at this one location. It's this beautiful property. There's like a main house and two barns, both of which have been converted into partial residences. And then Hannah's cabin is essentially like a cabin, and it's on a river, and there's animals everywhere. And in the winter picnic and the skiing, all that was shot on the same property. It's absolutely majestic. And so just outside of Toronto, maybe 45 minutes.
So you would commute every day, or did you stay up there?
Okay. I actually stayed with my parents for a bunch of it because they were closer than going back home to Toronto. So I would stay at my folks because, well, just made my day shorter.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So it was nice. And I was not feeling so hot because of my pregnancy during the filming of this. And my mom would like have soup when I got home. And it was really sick. It was that thing, what like only a parent can make you feel. Like there would just be like, there's like, even if it was just hot broth, there was something about being outside in the cold all day and not feeling great. And you get home and like your mom would make you soup. It was the best. I was very lucky, and I really needed it, and it was much appreciated.
Nice. Can I send your mom my address to
have
her ship me like soup and the tiramisu and all of that?
She would love it. She would love it. She's very nurturing.
Hold on. Wait.
I don't think tiramisu is going to travel well.
Ice pack. Wait, time out. I should say that my mother is an excellent cook, and I learned everything from her.
There you
and
go.
My grandmother. So I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, a different thing. If your mother feels like mothering somewhere, well, now she's probably grandmothering. So
she is. She's all about it. But she's all about. She has the best maternal energy ever. She's a really like top notch mom. So she's always looking for more people to mother.
Okay.
My kid's been sick home with COVID, and I'm like, I'll make you another quesadilla. Like,
oh no,
that's it. I'm tapped out.
You're tapped out.
Put it in the air fryer, and it's a game changer.
In the air fryer. Hold on. Can we talk about that for a second?
Yes. Okay. Soft shell tortilla, right?
Okay.
Okay. Whatever you want to put in it, if you want to make it like a taco or a quesadilla, whatever, but put cheese around the rim of it and fold it over, because the cheese acts like a glue.
Yeah.
To keep it together. Then pop it in the air fryer, and it gets crispy, like crispity, crunchity. And then, so it's like an air fried, like I made it with a taco this past week. It's air fried taco. It was delicious.
Wow.
Like,
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
How do you prevent it from popping open before the cheese is melted?
What do you mean?
Okay, so like in my head, it's cold. You sprinkle the cheese and then you fold it, but the cheese is not warm yet.
Oh, you have to just melt it a little bit in like a pan or something, and then glue it together. Yeah, and then glue it together in the pan. So you just need it in a pan for like a hot second. Yeah. Put the thing and like seal it, and then put it in.
Not caught. Like I have the air fryer.
You have not caught the air fryer bug?
No, because it still takes a long time.
No, it doesn't.
It does. Some stuff takes like 20 minutes.
No way. Then you're not making the right stuff.
I could just microwave a quesadilla in like 30 seconds.
This is true. Listen. Microwave continues to be the king of invention.
I'm telling you, once you guys try everything in your air fryer, you will never go back to a microwave.
I don't actually have an air fryer. I have been debating. My mother has an air fryer, though I should probably ask to experiment.
It's overrated, and it takes up a lot of space.
No, don't listen to Anne.
Okay.
You love me more, Kat. Don't listen to Anne.
Anne. I did buy into the Instant Pot craze.
Did you use it?
No, because Anne, like you said, it takes too long. It's not instant. Like, oh, it's ready. You can do a roast in 5 seconds. Well, yeah, but it takes 2 hours for the thing to heat up to the right temperature. So no, you cannot.
No.
Air fryer.
Yeah.
And then everybody in the chat, hashtag air fryer, please.
I can make a quesadilla on the stove crispy
No, it's not
in
the
less time
same.
than it takes that stupid
It's
air
not the
fryer.
same.
You
Because
have
then,
too much time on your
wait,
hands,
hold
Laura.
on. I didn't go further. Then when you take it out of the air fryer,
Welcome to air fryer chat.
you unseal it a little bit, and then you like, because I said I made it like a taco. You
Okay.
unseal it, and then you stuff it with all your taco toppings, and then you seal it again. I forgot to
Like
mention
your
that.
fresh toppings that can't get warm?
Yeah. So like your avocado, your
Yeah.
lettuce, your salsa, your sour
because
cream.
there's nothing grosser than warmed up lettuce.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Not a good
gross.
texture.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right. I think we have to move on from this air fryer talk. We'll get you on maybe next week. How's your schedule for next week to just
For
talk
next
air
week?
fryer?
Yeah, wide open.
Okay. Just talk air fryer stuff.
All right. So we also see Hannah do a bit of driving in this movie.
Yeah.
What kind of driver are you, Kat Barrell?
I'm actually a really good driver. I'm a really good driver, and I have gotten feedback from my friends that I'm a surprisingly aggressive driver.
Nice. Explain.
So I'm like one to overtake a fellow driver if they're going a little slower than I'd like to travel. I'm not a timid driver. I'm a pretty I'm just a bit of an
you're a defensive driver.
I would say I'm an offensive driver.
Okay.
So
a lot of this.
No.
Well, a little bit of speed. You like to go fast.
I do like to go fast. Sometimes a little too fast. I need to sort of watch my my lead foot. But we have this fancy thing in our car that it will beep if it's too if you're going too fast for the other car. Like, I don't know how it measures it. But that's helped me with my speed a little bit.
I have that too.
Yeah, you have that too? Yeah. So that's good. That's been a good thing for me. But actually, that I had never seen this before, because this movie is like a a pretty indie. Like, we had to get creative with some stuff, and they amazingly, and I had never done this before, when I was those close-ups in the car when I was driving back, when I was like, I have to go get him, and then driving back, I can't figure out that this thing is actually opposite. There we go. They actually set up this huge flat screen TV outside of the car and played played essentially out of focus footage of that they had shot before of driving. And I just thought that was so genius. I had never seen that done before. I'd always seen it with green screen. But hey, man, when you're on a budget, you got to get creative. And it
was it also on a thing. So
yeah, they had some of the crew like sort of wobble the car a little bit. That I had seen before. We did that on. I mean, we did it on Winona for sure. Yeah, like move the car. I've seen it done on a few things, but this was the first time I saw a TV used rather than a green screen, and I was like, "There's no way this is gonna look good," and it looked great.
Yeah, I
couldn't believe it.
I mean, I saw the behind the scenes thing, so I knew it was a screen.
There's a behind the scenes thing.
You posted it, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, like that I posted. Yeah. That's right. I did.
You're like, oh my god, they released behind the
that.
scenes. What?
But
I was
looked
like,
real.
oh, cool. They cut a behind the scenes video. I want to see that. Yeah.
Here's a pertinent question for right now.
Can you drive men? Okay. My uncle was supposed to teach me to drive stick when I was a teenager and never got around to it. And then I think it's really hard to find someone who will let you learn stick on their car.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah. I think I would really enjoy driving stick, because I do enjoy the idea of like interacting with the car a little bit more. But I don't drive stick, not for lack of desire, but just basically because I can't find anyone who will let me learn on their car.
Yeah, I learned
a little bit. Car and teach you how.
Do you drive stick?
I can, but I don't have that kind anymore. Thank God, because LA traffic would be ridiculous.
Would be brutal. Yeah.
I learned. I was in Italy for one summer, and my cousin taught me.
Nice.
But I didn't have I came back to America, and I didn't keep practicing, so never. And then he's probably like one of the only people in Italy now that doesn't have a manual car, because he's just like, I don't want to deal with that shit.
Really?
Yeah. And that in Europe, it's big in Europe.
Yeah.
he doesn't want to
But
deal with
Anne's
that.
right. If you're in a big city, forget it. Like,
Yeah.
it's too hard.
Yeah. I get it, but I just get in, drive, and go. That's all.
Oh, here's another question about driving. Look at this hot topic.
Well, the aggressive as an Uber driver. My God, my Uber driving days. No, I think I was a little more cautious when I was driving Uber because, you're driving other people. And I was in the city too. I was in Toronto. So it was, you don't really have the opportunity to go too fast, but you do have to be aggressive in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're never going to get anywhere.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
maybe not as aggressive as I would have been on my own, but aggressive enough to get people where they needed to be.
Yeah. So, Kat, I have two movie-related questions for you because Hannah is one of those like BuzzFeed quiz type writers.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the English language. And she mentions two kind of quizzes that she put out there.
Yeah.
One was, which breakfast food are you?
Yep.
And the second is, which pasta noodle are you?
Yes.
So can you answer both of those?
Yeah. I totally can. I would say I'm a fettuccine.
Interesting.
Because I am long. I would like to think that I'm not as average as spaghetti. Mm-hmm. I'm like a slightly kicked up spaghetti.
Throwing spaghetti under the
breast. A slightly more refined spaghetti, perhaps, but still accessible. Mm-hmm. And breakfast food, I would say that I am an egg. Standard. And I would say I'm an egg because there's a timeless quality to eggs, and they sort of are reminiscent of like a farm. Yeah, like a farm or like a bit of a homey kind of quality. And I think, and like a eggs and breakfast, it's a classic. And I think I like traditional things, and I like tradition, and I like simplicity and like back to basics, comfort food. So I think the egg is like a real classic. And what about you?
I'm a plain Jane. Like, I think I'm a spaghetti.
Nice.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with an egg.
You can't go wrong with. I mean,
I hate taking an answer that's already taken, but that's the truth. Like, plus you can like scramble it. You can frittata it.
Yeah, it's versatile.
You breakfast, lunch, dinner. Like, yeah.
I would say I'm a stack of pancakes because I have layers.
Nice. Yeah.
Right. And I would say I'm going to throw something out you probably don't even know. A cavatappi.
A cavatappi. What's that?
Okay. Is that a spirally one?
It is. It's a corkscrew pasta.
Yeah, they're a little screwy. So
a little bit. But also because I make this fabulous pasta salad, and I use that pasta when everybody else uses fusilli in their pasta salad, and I'm like, no, because you can't pick up it can't pick up with a fork, and it annoys the shit out of me. So I like
very
this
true. I never even thought about pasta noodles having function. I just thought it was like, someone got bored, so they made them look different. But the shape of a pasta noodle is very, very related to the sauce it will be partnered with.
Yeah, that absolutely. And also the region that it comes from.
And the region, yes.
Yep. I watched this whole video about orecchiette.
About really? Listen to you like,
look at the little accent.
I heard you're Italian there. Wow.
You would think you know what you're talking about or something, Laura.
I can't, like, those are my people. I can't not say it. And I also made orecchiette for Christmas Christmas dinner. So
nice.
It's in my brain. That's why I watched the video.
Delicious.
It was good. It's like lemon and butter. It was good. Sorry.
You're just making me hungry. It's way too late to eat.
You guys could come over for dinner. I mean,
I love it. I want a Laura created authentic Italian meal.
But FYI, I don't like tiramisu.
In your air fryer?
In your air fryer. That's not, you don't like tiramisu.
No, I don't like tiramisu.
What is it that you don't like about it? Is it the texture? Is it the coffee?
I honestly, because a lot of the desserts that I don't like have mascarpone cheese in it. So that's what I think it is. I think which is weird because like it's almost like cream cheese. It's like Yeah, which is weird, but I think that's what it is. Maybe it is also the coffee. I don't know.
Huh.
But
okay.
I make
Fair.
a good.
I'm not gonna hold it against you. It's fine.
I make a really good one. I just don't like to eat it.
Okay.
All right. Kat.
Yeah.
Hannah is a bit of a break and entering kind of person. Because of necessity. You do what you have to do. Has there ever been a time when you've had to either sneak back into your house or break into your own house?
I've had to break into like my roommates' rooms to get like clothing and shoes and things back. But I mean, that's just a door.
So no, like pick lock kit.
No,
where you're like...
I'm trying to think if like there's ever been. I wish I had like a great like, and then I smashed the window story, but I don't really. No, I got nothing for you. You guys got anything?
I've had to like not break in, but like as a teenager, my friends, like we've gotten locked out or had to sneak back in. And
did you have the type of parents who would like put an alarm clock out at the top of the stairs, and if you weren't home by the time the alarm clock went out, you'd be in big trouble?
I didn't have a curfew.
I didn't have a curfew either.
The kind of kid who they were like,
I was the third child. They fucking forgot about me after.
Yeah, they were like, "Who are you again?"
Yeah. I was very trusted.
You were trusted, so
no,
neither of you guys had curfews.
No, but the thing about the key, I was saying this before. Like we had either our neighbor had a spare key, and then we also had a key in our clothespin basket that hung in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Right.
Or like now they have hide-a keys, but like everybody knows what the hide-a key looks like. So like, how is that a deterrent for people that come break in your house?
I did find a hide-a key that looks like a sprinkler head, which I thought was a very smart invention.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah,
that's good.
Just stick it.
I would just put it in like the backyard. Like who's going in the backyard to whatever? Anyway, that's good. So can we talk about the cast?
Could you give me one moment?
Sure.
I think my child is crying. Could you just give me a moment?
Oh my gosh.
Sure.
Yeah.
1 second.
Play Coco Melon for him. That's a fucking annoying song.
Here, do you want to take her? We'll take her off the thing. We'll bring her back when she's
Sure. Talk amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
So Anne,
how'd you like the movie, Laura?
I enjoyed it quite well. I liked it a lot.
I
don't know what I would do with a cabin. What would you do with a cabin? Would you sell it? Would you fix it up? Would you?
I would. It depends on how far away it is. Like if it's like,
well, let's say it's like a 2-hour drive.
2 hours, like LA 2 hours.
No, like let's say you lived in a normal city and you wanted to get out of. Okay.
Sorry, guys. It was a false alarm. I felt like sometimes I hear him and I'm hallucinating. Cars. But then sometimes I'm in like a completely different part of the house and no one would hear him. And I have like supersonic.
You're going to hear them all the time. Like I can be somewhere else and like, my kid is calling me.
You can hear it. It's a weird thing.
It never
goes away. Primal. It's very fascinating.
Well,
just probably calling me right now.
Just real quick, because we had a little Twitter exchange tonight about it. Do you put him in front of any kind of device yet to listen to those stupid songs?
No, I'm trying so hard.
Save yourself, Kat.
Don't do it.
Yes, I'm trying really hard not to. I can see how it's like. I'm sure it's gonna like. He's only 4 months old.
It's good for them. It's torture for you. Trust me.
No, but I think it will get a lot harder to keep him away from the TV as he gets older. But right now, like he is, if he sees it in the background, he's like,
"Don't do it."
Stares
Don't let him have any screen time. Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. So I always sort of turn him away or take him, but luckily we don't have it on too much, but I'm trying not to, but I'm sure as like a toddler and stuff, it's going to be
music is fine, but not the
obviously the first thing he has to watch is Winona Earp. Just binge that for 4 seasons for him.
I feel like that might be a bit violent for a young child, don't you think?
What does he know?
Well, he'll know. Like, he'll be like, why do you have a gun?
Fun fact, what I do.
No, now at 4 months, I mean, like, just put that on.
Right.
What I
Leave
do
it on
for
the
a
background,
living
see if he
is I'm an
notices.
early childhood professional. So it's literally what I do for my job is I care for infants through 4-year-olds.
No way, really?
Brain development and things of the nature are what I do.
So TV, no go. From everything I've read, it's like no go before 2.
No. If you can get away with it, that's great. But like definitely not before 1. That's so bad. Yeah. Let's see if we have any.
Let me just ask a quick
Go
question, Kat. Are you disappointed you didn't get to dance in this movie?
No. I don't like dancing. You know this about me. I do not like to dance. I like dancing. I follow this amazing dance. I repost a bunch of their stuff. It's like World of Dance or something like incredible dance videos. I love dancing. I love people who can dance, but I know that I cannot, and I'm very happy when I don't have to pretend.
So would you rather dance or cross-country ski?
Ski. I would rather ski. Tell us more about the skiing.
Because I did that once.
They asked me if I could ski, and I've downhill skied when I was a kid, and was not a problem. And I was like, yeah, no problem. I can ski. Cross-country skiing, a bit of a different beast because your heels are loose. So it's very unstable.
Yeah.
And also, like, no offense to anyone who cross-country skis, but like not that enjoyable.
No, it's not. And this was Hannah's version of fun. I was like, we have very different definitions of fun.
I think in one draft of the script it was something different, but we like
dancing.
Couldn't get it was dancing, and I'm a really good dancer. No, I forget what it was. I can't remember if it was always cross-country skiing, but I think it was just like they wanted a cool activity for them to do where they could still talk to each other. So it's not like, and I'm really good at like.
Could have gone ice skating.
Ice skating could have been one for sure. I think I would have been better at ice skating.
Yeah, I did that one time. I don't know how long you filmed that for and how like takes and whatever. Do you know how long you did it for?
We had a really hard time because the camera was on a toboggan in front of us. And
that's the most Canadian sentence you probably ever
Totally. Yeah, totally. And everyone was in a toque and we drank maple syrup after to celebrate. But it was difficult for the camera team because the snow was not even. Yeah. So it actually wasn't very smooth. I was shocked at how smooth those shots looked. Because in my memory of shooting them, we had a pretty hard time. That's why we had to stop. Like I am sure you noticed that there's like sections of dialogue where we both just stopped and talked to each other. That was why, because we they couldn't maintain focus for us moving for the whole thing. And it was such a long scene that the timing of it. And then like we got to the end of the track and the dialogue wouldn't be over and we had to pass the right tree while saying the right thing so it could be cut together. So it was a bit challenging in that way. And there was also like a really cool drone shot that I don't think they ever ended up using in my memory that they did of filming that there was like a loop that we did.
And was that real snow or fake snow?
Real snow. That was real snow. Oh. But then there is definitely a lot of fake snow as well. It's like sheets of fluffy pillow,
yeah, I think that was like right outside of Hannah's
the cabin.
Like,
yeah,
you could tell.
There's a couple shots where you could really see it, and I was like, oof.
Because I did that, and I think I might have topped out at like maybe 20 minutes of doing that at a event or whatever.
Yeah.
And just that 20 minutes, my legs were
burning
fire the next day. It's like, fuck this, man.
It's a lot of work. It's very surprising.
Yeah. It is, and it's a lot of like in sync movements. Like you have to really like be very in tune with your body of how it moves. Because
and then lines and stuff on top of it. So it was like, don't fall. remember to say your lines at the right tree. It was a lot of chewing gum and walking, you know.
I was trying to figure out if you were actually doing it because there were no
It looked
actual
like
foot
we
shot.
weren't, which is I was like, we are though. We absolutely were. We were skiing for
Like,
all
there's no
of that.
foot shots,
And
the
I
skis
almost
you can see it far away. So I'm like, is that really still them?
Yes, I know. It was all us, and I was actually a little bit like, man, we went through all that trouble, and it doesn't even look like we're skiing. Yeah, it was us.
I'm like, Laura, do you think they're just like, but they just have shoes on and they're just like going like this with the poles?
But then that's a little like dancing, and I don't know.
I don't know if I could have done it. I don't know if I could have sold it.
So the cast members in this, now, if I remember correctly from the Instagram live you did for the Godwink movie, Hallmark actually offered you that role. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
What about this movie? Did you audition for this, or did they also offer this?
I was also offered.
Well, look at you go.
I know. Yeah, it's been really nice. It's very nice. But now I'm getting back into the auditioning thing, which is I'm like, oh, right, this muscle. I just did now we're doing these Zoom auditions. So I just auditioned for this show day before yesterday, and it was on Zoom.
The show?
Which I actually prefer, because now what's happening in the acting auditioning world is like we do these self-tapes. So Ray and I actually built a little studio in our basement, because between the two of us, we're doing so many of these self-tape auditions. Like, we don't go in to studios anymore. The downside of that, though, is that like tone is so important.
And you're not getting that instant feedback from
you're not getting any feedback, or if like you have a question, or if you're like, is this more slapsticky? Is it more played for real? Like, all these questions you used to be able to ask the casting director when you walked in the room. But now you can get your agent to ask, but it's really hard, and it takes hours to get an answer back, and it's just like a typed email. So, so much of it is like reading somebody in the room. So I find it very difficult. So we have started doing Zoom for some of them, which I really like. Some actors hate it, but I like it because it's like the theater actor in me likes the idea of like, okay, it's go time. Or maybe it's like the athlete in me. I don't know what it is, but I like the pressure. When I have this like infinite amount of time to dick around at home and like do a million takes, it's not good for me.
Yeah.
I like doubt myself, and then I second guess, and it takes like forever, because you have to practice the audition, but then you have to set up the lights, and then you have to film it yourself, and then you have to edit the damn thing, and then you have to send it off. So like a Zoom audition took like 15 minutes.
And then you have to choose which take you're going to send.
Yes, it's the worst. And then you have to watch yourself. Oh, it's
that's kind of like in school, where you don't want to start a paper too early, because then you're going to like keep editing it. So you just like,
I never had that problem, because it was
you write it the night before.
Yeah, I wrote everything the night before.
Me too.
Yeah, just write it. It's the adrenaline. You need the adrenaline of like, okay.
Yeah, like it's good. Like you said,
Kat,
it's like
what's
go
next?
time.
Where will we see you next? I don't know. I have no job now, so you will see me. I don't know. I actually there is nothing I've shot that is because when I had Ronan, after Cabin Connection, I didn't shoot anything again until after Ronan was born, which is that Hallmark movie. So now we go back in the, going into auditions and seeing what happens, and I'm really looking forward to just getting back in the swing of things, because I was working on Winona, and then I was working on Good Witch. So this was a section of the year that I was, very fortunately, always shooting. But it's nice because this is what we sort of call pilot season, which is when a lot of the new shows start casting. So I'm just really looking forward to seeing what's going to come down the pipe in the next few months. And I don't know. We shall see. I would really like to start getting into doing a little bit more drama, or anything like a little bit darker.
Cat Villain 2022.
Cat Villain 2022.
Hashtag Cat Villain 2022.
Yeah, so we'll see. So that's the hope. So we shall see, and hopefully I will get another job in the not so distant future. That would be nice.
So you can read it,
but you have the most fun shooting? Oh, and Cabin Connection. I really liked working with Cody. We had a ton of scenes together. I actually really enjoyed that family dinner scene.
Yeah.
It was really like just a really lovely group of actors, and it felt like a very they shot that scene was quite long, and they shot it just like really long takes. So we just sort of got to be present with each other, and it was again amidst COVID, where just getting to talk with people was such a novel thing. And it was so simple, and we were just at the table, and I really just enjoyed everyone's company. So that was one of my favorite days on set for this movie, for sure.
Yeah. Those types of scenes are like notoriously long just because everybody's coverage and everybody's this and that. So yeah, they could also, but like you said, probably during COVID, it was a nice thing to get into it. Now, speaking of that scene, there was that the actor Art Hindle, everybody's Canada's favorite father. I guess.
Yeah, totally.
Now,
totally.
I think right before this, he was shooting Surreal Estate with Tim, playing his dad.
Probably.
Didn't know that?
I didn't know that, but
okay.
Like that doesn't surprise me at all.
I would have loved to know if like you guys shared a Tim story between the two of you or something.
No, we didn't. It didn't come up. Shoot, I wish I had known that. I didn't know that. Yeah. But Art, Canada's like totally. Art is in the echelon of like there's like 5 guys who are the go-to archetype
like dad
guys.
Or grandpa. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Peter McNeil is another one.
Yes.
Peter and I shot Good Witch together and literally worked together for a year before we realized that Peter played my dad on Star Trek. And we had worked together before, and we didn't even. I remember just meeting him, and I was like, God, he looks familiar, but it's such a small community. You can easily and passing. And then I was pulling photos for a convention, and I was like, wait a second. Then I pulled a one from Star Trek to like send for to be printed. I was like, wait a second, that's Peter. And then the next day at work, I was like, Peter, look at this photo. We worked together like 2 years ago. Neither of us remembered for a whole season and a half.
And you also worked with Cody before. Did you work with any of the other?
I worked with Cody and forgot, which he mentioned in our Instagram live. I forgot. I just because we barely worked together on Girls' Night Out. We were in like one scene, I think, together. So I just didn't remember, and it had been so many years.
I did not watch that movie. I'm sorry, Kat. I don't do.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Don't like seeing you get killed.
Not even that. I don't do the scary at all. I
don't really do the scary either.
I didn't watch the Lake Placid either. I'm waiting for maybe somebody to cut your scenes together.
There you go.
Yeah,
just pull them out so you can see them. That's very sweet.
Yeah, just to get the gist of it. Somebody give me the Cliff Notes of it. Just so there's a question here. Do you want to get back into the directing and producing in the
actually I do have a script with Vortex, who produced Cabin Connection in their development incubator right now, so that's exciting. I don't know when that will come to be. We're just like, it's early days of it, goes through like multiple drafts. And if we get it to a place where they're ready to go with it, then maybe we will end up making it in the next couple of years. That would be awesome. But I've built some really beautiful relationships with the team at Vortex.
Yeah.
They're very, very supportive, and there might be an opportunity for me to do a little bit of directing this year. But I'm not going to hold my breath, and I'm not going to jinx it. But there have been a few discussions about that possibility, which is very exciting.
Shout out to Christopher. I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce his last name because he was retweeting and posting.
Oh, Christopher Giroux.
Yeah, I wasn't even going to try that. Italian names I'm fine with. Nothing out of
Nothing
that.
else.
But yeah, I mean, this little thing of ours, he was posting about it and everything like that. So
that's so
appreciate that of him doing that, and appreciate your time as well for giving this to us, because Anne and I are kind of nobodies.
No, you're not. You're amazing. I love spending time with both of you guys, and thank you for arranging this, and and thank you for just, it's really nice to, I have no idea if anyone is watching this, but it's very nice to have time to hang out and touch base with everyone again. So
Yeah, there's about 23 people watching, so
that's
we pulled
awesome.
in a good number. No, there's way more than that.
There's
come on,
380 people, Kat. Come on.
Oh, that's awesome. Even if there was 23, that's still a lot.
No, not for you. Come on.
No,
I think that's a lot, and I'd be very pleased if there were 4 people here. So
here, one last question for you. Love at first sight is brought up in the film. How much of a romantic are you, and do you believe in love at first sight?
I do. I totally believe in love at first sight. I have experienced it a few times in my life with both people who I fell in love with and friends.
Not me? Okay, cool. Not me.
No, but have you ever had that feeling? And I'm not just talking about romantic love. Like I'm talking about like platonic love as well, where you meet someone and you're like, oh, you're going to be a big part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
It's like something in you like recognizes them in your soul. And I've definitely had that with like a handful of like my really good friends. And with Ray, like the second I met Ray, I knew that like no matter what, we were going to be huge parts of each other's life. Like I knew immediately. Mm-hmm. So yes, I do. In that sense, I do believe in love at first sight.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Do you guys?
I would say in terms of what you're describing, like just for people in general, you know that they're going to, you connect on some level. And it's like, wait a second, you get my weirdness? That's amazing. Like Anne and I, we've never met in person. We've only met online, but we started chatting and it was just kind of like an instant, like, we're both kind of weird. And I think I love you for it.
I love that.
Yeah, we share a brain. No, I met my wife at a barbecue, and I saw her, and I was like, I'm totally gonna marry that person.
See,
and like she didn't even remember me.
Oh my god!
Across
so she didn't
the
have the same.
Did you see her like across the cornhole?
It was across the room, and I was with Casey, my ex-girlfriend who I do the podcast with.
Were you exes yet?
We were exes already.
Okay.
But we still, I mean, we've remained friends all this time. And I was like, if you go to this barbecue with me, I'll go to this other barbecue that you want to go to afterwards. And then but it's funny because when we recall this story, my wife doesn't remember me, but she remembers Casey.
No, at least she's honest with you though.
She's like, no, I was like, I'm totally gonna end up with that person. She's like, I don't remember you. I remember Casey. I'm like, I remember what you wore. I remember what your hair looked like.
Aww.
She's like, I just remember you were there with your ex, and that's really all I remember.
So then what was the next step? Like, how did you connect?
I Googled the crap out of her to make sure she wasn't a serial killer.
You Googled her making sure she wasn't the serial killer.
Okay, that's oddly specific. Is this like something you do?
You have to like check out people before you start dating them.
Yeah, that's true. This is true.
But they were actually a client of mine at a different location that like I managed franchises at the time. She was a client of one of my other. It was like sort of I was told this person would be at this barbecue, like, so I should come to the barbecue. So it was like a blind date.
Okay.
Kind of.
Well, maybe maybe you knew that, but she didn't, and that's why
know.
You registered it better in your mind than she did.
Probably.
Mm.
So
there's that.
That's a very sweet story.
I got a little fun tidbit for you, Kat, that we because I'm creepy like that, but we kind of noticed and just want to show it for you. So there's a scene in Godwink and a scene in Cabin Connection, and they both use the same exact stock footage of an exterior cafe.
That's hilarious and totally makes so much sense to me.
And so we put it together for you. If we could just get that popped up on the screen.
No way. Oh my gosh. This is awesome.
Alice, you want to roll
You should tweet it at Chris Giroux. Yes, you're right.
So we have the
we
top
were like,
one.
wait a minute.
Wait a second.
Yeah. So I was just like, because okay,
oh my god, that's so funny.
So the reason why it struck out at me is because I was on kind of like New York City street patrol when I was watching Cabin Connection, because I was like, oh wait, that's the Manhattan Bridge right there. Oh wait, that's that. And then I saw this, and because I've just recently, it was like only last month that Godwink was out, I was like, I feel like
yes,
that might have been the Pie Cafe.
Right. Oh my gosh. You guys should make a game of this, because I'm sure this happens all the time in these movies,
all the
which
movies
is
we can
really
find
funny.
this cafe in.
Yeah.
How many times has this cafe been in a movie exactly?
in a Canadian movie specifically, like to use like any town USA, Main Street on any town USA,
yep,
kind of thing.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So that I just thought that was funny, and I thought you would get a kick out of that.
Oh, that's great. That I did get a kick out of that. But please screenshot it and send it to Chris Giroux, because he'll get a kick out of it too.
Okay. He's my best friend now, so apparently.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you guys are best friends now.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh man, guys, this was awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you everyone for showing up.
We'll message you about the air fryer chat like next week or something.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Start a new podcast, and
but you have to buy one first. You have to get.
I have to get one.
Yeah.
Maybe I can like just test run my mother's before I invest.
Okay, but you do have a birthday coming up, so.
Air fryers galore. Air fryers.
Stop it!
I do have a birthday coming up.
It's only good for mozzarella sticks. Everything else.
Okay.
It's not. Listen, hold on. I'm going to blow your Canadian mind right now, Kat. I made my French fries in my air fryer that I then proceeded to make glorious poutine with my leftover beef of what the hell did I make for Christmas?
Beef, like a pulled beef?
No, not a pulled, but like a prime rib roast gravy.
Wow.
And cheese curds.
That does sound delicious.
And I made those fries in the air fryer, and they came out delicious.
It's only because I sent you the cheese. That's
fine.
But
oh, you sent the cheese, and that's nice.
I made the fries in the air fryer.
Wait, how come you're getting good cheese like that in California?
I'm from Wisconsin originally.
There it is.
She got it sent from Wisconsin.
My uncle's a cheesemaker, so
I
was like crying about good cheese. So I was like, Uncle so and so, can you send?
She's not my only cheese. I could have gotten stuff from Canada too. Because
don't say that, Laura. Anne is your cheese gateway drug dealer.
Your cheese mule.
Yeah,
listen, come on. Alex, who you met earlier, is our Canadian snack mule. So Alex sends us.
I've gotten all dressed chips
and ketchup,
wine gums. What else did she send me?
Caramax.
Wonder Bars are my favorite chocolate.
Are those not available in the States?
Nope.
No.
Oh.
So let me just, if I could just, whatever. If you wouldn't mind just bringing a whole suitcase with you to the con of like Wonder Bars and
ketchup chips.
Whatever crappy stuff we have here that you like, we'll bring. But we just have crappy chocolate.
Yeah.
And
this is anything that I crave. Oh, you know what I crave?
What?
From the US?
Yeah. Trader Joe's peanut butter granola.
Okay. You just made a big mistake saying that on here.
It's the best.
I hope you're going to bring an empty suitcase with you to the cons.
It's the best. It's so good. I would be so happy if that happened. I also really crave Trader Joe's quinoa burritos.
Do you know
Oh, are you going to get those?
My boss.
Yeah, the granola would travel. I would not say no to a couple boxes of granola. I'm not going to lie, guys.
My boss told me that her son only eats the Trader Joe's burritos.
Only? Like that's the only food that he will eat?
Yeah, he's 4. She tells me she's like, I have to go to Trader Joe's, and like that's all. That's what I fill my shopping cart with, because he will not eat anything else.
Hey man, whatever works. You just got to get the kid fed.
All right.
So Anne would probably have a different opinion on that, given your background in child development.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the day.
It depends on the day, exactly. We had popsicles today. That's awesome.
My niece, you have food in your hand, she'll open her mouth and just take everything in her mouth.
I'm going to end this broadcast, Kat. You stay there for a second.
Okay, all
we'll
right,
say
guys.
goodbye to the
Thank
public.
you, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you.
End broadcast. All right, did it end?
It says still live on my end. We're still live, right,
Everybody's
everybody?
still live. There's